So now that I've talked about my favorite games of the decade, it's only fair that now I talk about the worst games as well to balance things out. You may have noticed from the title that there are only 5 games on this list and not 10. That's because I actually haven't played a lot of bad games. All the games on this list are games I have played and given them a fair shot. If there is a game on this list that you like, that is totally okay. These are just my opinions, so don't take it personally. This list also won't be in any particular order. Now, with all that being said, let's jump right into the list. Number 5, The Order 1886. The Order 1886 had potential to be good, but unfortunately it wasn't. The game is very short, taking roughly 6 hours to complete, which I personally find okay. The problem for me is the gameplay and cutscenes. The gameplay segments are very few and far between. The game is mostly cutscenes, and when you do get to play, it is either just a quick time event or gunplay that feels very restrictive and not very fun. And cutscenes drag on far longer than it feels like they should. The graphics still hold up today, they are amazing. And the atmosphere is very immersive. Or, well, would be if it wasn't for the boring gameplay. If this was a movie, I think I would enjoy it, but as a game, there is a lot more to be desired. And the game kinda just ends out of nowhere with no real conclusion. I would love to see this game get a second chance. There is quite a lot of potential for it. Number 4. Every EA Sports game. See, this is where I was gonna make the joke to go outside and play it for yourself, but you know, there's a pandemic, so I guess you have no choice but to play them. But that doesn't mean they're fun to play, at least for me. They're just very boring, and the games stay the same every year for the most part. They basically just copy and paste. Number 3. Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric. The Sonic team tried to do something different with Sonic Boom, but unfortunately it didn't work out. Sonic Boom is a broken mess and is not good. There are a few game-breaking glitches. Some of them let you skip entire portions of the game. It runs at a terrible frame rate most of the time, and the story is mediocre at best. The gameplay is pretty boring. All the characters have the exact same moveset throughout the entire game, and it gets very boring pretty quickly. There are a surprising amount of jokes when the characters are talking to each other. Not all of them land, but there's still a few that got a chuckle out of me. The exploration is very dull. Sonic lost all of his speed in this game, so when you're exploring the overworld, it'll take forever to get to one area to the next. It's not very fun. Number 2. Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9 is considered a spiritual successor to the Mega Man series. It was made by a group of people who worked on the Mega Man games. They started a Kickstarter for the game and they made way more money than they had wanted, which was amazing. Unfortunately, after the game went through multiple delays, it finally came out and it was pretty disappointing. The level design is very bland, the game is very easy, the voice acting is very mediocre, and the story is fine. It's your average Mega Man plot. And the cutscenes run on far longer than they should. And they are unskippable, which sucks a lot. Mighty Number 9 isn't the worst game in the world, it's just very average. Number 1. Sonic Forces. As of recent years, Sonic games haven't been the best, but Sonic Forces takes the cake for the worst one to come out. Sonic Forces is really bad. The gameplay is not engaging at all. For most of the game, you can just hold the boost button to make it through most of the levels, and classic Sonic feels terrible to play. Every minuscule thing can make you lose all your momentum. You constantly revisit past levels you've been to with both classic and modern Sonic, which would be fine if the level design was good. As I mentioned before, you can get through most of the levels by just boosting because the levels have very minimal platforming, and some levels have sections where they want you to boost, but if you do, you just fall off the side of the level. The story is bad, there is no suspense at all during the emotional scenes, nor do they even give you time to feel that emotion. For instance, at the beginning of the game, Sonic dies, in quotations, and within 10 minutes, they reveal that he's alive. The bosses suck to fight against, not because they're hard, in fact, quite the opposite. They're really easy, they use the same attacks throughout the entire fight, and they take way too long to kill, definitely way more than the rule of 3. I could go on and on about how much I hate this game, but I shall spare you. These have been my top 5 worst games of the decade. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. And again, I would like to reiterate that if you like any of these games, that is totally fine. These are my own opinions, and you are totally allowed to have your own.